thanks for joining in on my little live chat today. I'm really excited because I have got CJ Reynolds from Real Rap with the Reynolds joining us today for an interview. He's agreed to come and visit my little channel. So I'm going to bring him in just a moment. While I'm doing that and setting everything up, why don't you guys go ahead in the chat and tell me where you're watching from? That would be awesome. Okay, I'm just going to invite him in. I'm pretty excited to meet him. So here we go. Let me remember how to do this. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. All the way from the USA. Did I do something wrong? No, I'm inviting. It says inviting guest. How is everybody today? It's a little cool here today. Got a jumper on and we've all been suffering from colds, so it's a little tricky. What am I doing wrong, CJ? I'll try again. It's giving me the option to try again. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, CJ, mate, how are you? Oh, awesome.
How are you?
I'm well, except for a little croaky throat, so sorry about my voice.
I heard you say something about that. I'm sorry that's happening. Well, it's winter, right?
Yeah, we've got a house full of sickness. It's terrible.
Oh, that's the worst. That's
okay. We'll get over it.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for visiting my little channel. Hey, you guys, just before we get started, I just want to encourage you to go and subscribe to CJ's channel, Real Rap with the Reynolds. He needs subscribers. He doesn't have very many. He's struggling a bit, but every subscriber counts, right?
Absolutely.
I just want to start by telling you I was so excited when I found your channel because I had been watching a few teacher YouTubers for a little while, and they were all primary school teachers.
Yes.
Or elementary teachers. Yeah. And then I stumbled across you, I think, when I was watching Kate, the sleepy teacher.
Okay.
And I was so excited. I thought, oh, awesome. And I know there are a few other high school teachers out there now. But and then you were an English teacher as well.
I am. It's funny, because there aren't a lot of teacher YouTubers out there that are high school teachers. And so when you find them, it is a big excitement. It's like, oh, man, this is... I don't care if they have one video. It's really exciting to find somebody that does. And with that I Teach Too tag, a lot of people started popping up on my radar. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm awesome. Excited about that community.
I want to tell you what I love about your channel. I find your content really relatable. Maybe because I am a high school teacher as well and an English teacher, but I just find you really down to earth. And I think your advice is solid. And I think I truly believe this, I think you're really helping teachers out there, new ones and old ones like me. I love your humour, and I love how you include your family as well, your beautiful family in your videos. I think that's awesome. And I also really like, you've got kind of a community feel because you're able to include your students and your past students, your current students in your videos. I think that's lovely. We're actually not allowed to show our students in Australia, so I'm very jealous. And so are my students. They kind of always want to be on my videos, but I just say, I can't, sorry, I can't. But thank you for... Pardon?
I was just saying that's a difficult thing. I realize that not very many people show their students, and my guys, they eat it up. They're they think that's cool, and then they go home and watch the videos, all of them, and they comment, and so they're really funny. I'm glad to be able to enjoy and to include them in that.
Yeah, and I think that gives them a sense of community too. It's really special.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm going to encourage people who are watching, and we've got a couple of people joining in. Mohammed, Dan's here, Rocking Dan Teaching Man. Hey.
Yeah.
And more people will join, I'm sure. But if you guys who are watching would love to tell us what your favourite video of Real Rap with the Reynolds is in the comments, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I want them to think about that because I've picked a few. I'll tell you what my favourites are. You ready?
Sure, go ahead.
But I have to confess I have not watched all of them.
I'm blushing more than usual. Go ahead.
I really loved your Being Grateful one, which is a fairly recent one. I thought that was really, really nice. Should you be a teacher, where you had the fence?
Yep.
Yeah, sitting on the fence, that was cool. The I Teach Too tag was good. I'm yet to do mine. Your response to, I'm looking over here because I've taped all my notes on my window. Your response to Pocketful of Primary was great. I really liked that move.
Yeah.
The graduation letter, you know, the
Yes.
one where you did. Yeah,
Love that
I love
idea.
that.
My favorite.
And I might try and do something similar with my guys. And then
awesome.
your earlier videos in the classroom. I love those.
What was that last thing? I couldn't hear the last thing you said.
Sorry, the earlier videos in your classroom where you're showing us your classroom and young adult books and stuff like that. I love that. Yeah. So anyone in there, anyone watching, if you want to put your favourite Real Rap video, he would love it. He'd love to hear what your favourites are. So we've got someone here asking, how can I learn English? Do you use music in the classroom? If so, how and when do you use it? I want to quickly address those, and then we'll go to my questions.
Yeah. So how can you learn English? I am an American, so I don't know any other languages. I don't know how you learn English because, you know, we aren't taught. I mean, I didn't grow up learning anything else. I always feel like a fool when I travel to other countries and everyone can speak multiple languages, and I just, you know, try to use Google Translate or something like that. And I do use music all the time. One of the classes I teach as an elective is the history of hip-hop, and so we break down hip-hop music to its core, and then we talk about that, and we talk about the evolution of it. And I use music a lot in the class, in my regular English classroom when we're reading things. So like if we're reading a play and it's going to be really dramatic that day and I know the class can handle it, I'll play music underneath what we're reading, but I never tell the kids that I'm going to do it. Like I just like slowly bring it up. Like I'll find some kind of instrumental on YouTube and slowly bring up the music, and it just amplifies the moment. It makes it really funny. And I'll use it also when kids, after I get to know who students are, we write journals every morning. We write in our journals and they talk about some part of their life. And I can usually pinpoint what kind of story someone's going to tell eventually. So like whether it's going to be funny or whether it's like a great moment from their life of playing sports. And so I'll look up music that I think is going to go with that, and then I always surprise them, and it just amplifies the moment, makes everyone really pay attention, and it just makes it a little bit more fun than usual. So those are the things that come to mind right away.
Yeah, great question too, Rocking Dan. That was really good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So if you've got time, I've got 20 questions for you today.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Buckle up. Okay, first question. What is the secret to your amazing hair?
It's not so amazing today. I was driving around in the rain, so I'm wearing a hat. I don't know. I get my students comment on my hair all the time, and it's so funny.
It's pretty amazing.
They think that I don't have. They think that. So yeah, right now it just looks like a hot mess. But my students think that I dye my hair gray, and
right.
Which is really funny because when I was younger, I always dyed my hair. I had like pink mohawks and purple mohawks and stuff, and so I've had really, really long hair, like down to my chest, and so I don't know. It just does it. My students call me the silver fox, which I think is really funny. So yeah, I just push it back, and it just, you know,
it just happens.
It just happens. It's magic.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what products you use, but that might be top secret information. I'm not sure.
I'm always switching stuff. So I used to use this stuff called hair glue because it's essentially like it's glue for your hair. And so when I was younger and I had a mohawk and I wanted it to stay up, I would put hair glue in it. But I could go surfing when I was younger and my mohawk would stay up, and that was like unheard of. So we would just put tons of hair glue, and then I just kept using that stuff forever. But and so there was a video I made last year where I think it might have been on Instagram where my students, one of them bumped into my head and like touched my hair, and they always think it's going to be softer than it is. And they were like, so then he's standing behind me and he goes, "Yo, you got to come feel this." And I'm like, everyone sit down. Like everyone's not feeling my hair. But sure enough, there was like 15 kids standing around me, like touching my hair. And it was hilarious. It was just so I happened to get my phone out and just film it. because they said it feels like uncooked ramen noodles. So or little sticks. So they're hilarious.
That's awesome. So I'm going to do the personal questions first, in case you hadn't noticed. And I hope you weren't offended when I dressed up like you the other day.
We were cracking up. That was hilarious, hilarious. Because as soon as I saw the picture before I even watched the video, I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I hit it, and it was awesome. Loved it.
Oh. Yeah, I do that sort of thing sometimes. I'm never sure how people are going to take it. But I was wondering if you are willing to tell us what CJ stands for.
I just had lazy parents. So, no. My full name is Charles John Reynolds III.
Wow.
And so, yeah. So my uncles didn't like that my name was Charles, and so they called me CJ all the time.
Much cooler.
Kind of like to just annoy my mom, and then it just caught on. So
just went from there.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be a 40-year-old man called CJ, though. I always felt like that was for kids, and then it just kind of like never went away. So here I am.
It makes you cooler, I reckon, even cooler. Mrs. Reynolds is a big support to you, I can tell.
Absolutely.
And I think she's often in the background helping you with videos, especially the live
actually
one.
in the background now.
Oh, yeah. Can we meet her? Is she too shy? Can we meet her?
Oh, gosh.
Hi. I'm so glad to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too. I feel like I know everybody. When you watch so many YouTube videos, you feel like you know these people, but it's a really funny thing.
Yeah. It's so strange, but so great at the same time.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. I always wanted to meet you because I knew you were there, but just
I'm always there. I'm lurking in the background.
She's the lurker, and my not so secret wife.
Right. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And are you brave enough to tell us about your romance, how you guys met and how you got together and everything?
I've known her since I was in high school. We met my senior year of high school, and I had a friend who knew a girl that he thought I would like, and so I don't tell this story all the time. It's funny. So he was like, we should go over her house, but I'm not friends with her. I'm only friends with her brother. So I used to go over and hang out with her brother so that I could hang out with her, and then we had like this kind of like secret thing going on in high school, and that was it. That was what's today? It was on the 18th. It was 22 years ago. So we've been together for 22 years, and it's great. Yeah. We have a great relationship. So yeah, that's how we started out.
It's very special. It's it's rare. It's rare to have a strong relationship like that. So,
yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but worth it.
Yes, it's paid off. I mean, I think it's one of those things that if you put the work in, like anything else, like it just pays off, and you kind of get through your 30s for me, and then you come out the other side, and you're like, I'm really glad. This is awesome.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Okay, I want to ask you about the benefits of apple cider vinegar. I know you've been drinking that vinegar, and I've actually brought with me a glass, and yes. So you're a teacher, and I wondered if you could teach me how to do this.
Your life will never be the same. It is every summer. My wife has some crazy health thing that we're going to start doing, and that this summer, and whatever wretched toothpaste we use, it's made with like clay and sea salt. It's awful. It makes you mad at your teeth when you use it. And so apple cider vinegar, I'm not even really sure what it does. It's supposed to like aid my digestion, and you have to drink it like first thing in the morning. You have that toothpaste.
It's fermented.
So this is this wretched toothpaste that I use. I can't.
Oh wow.
You know, it's so funny because it's like.
Oh, it's in a jar.
And it's the
so
worst.
You dig it out with your fingers.
Yeah, you have to dig out with your finger or your toothbrush.
But it's safe. It's antiseptic. It's like you can put your toothbrush right into it.
Oh, it said it's antiseptic, so you can put your toothbrush. Okay. Whatever. It tastes so bad, germs aren't going to stay in there because they are terrified probably of that.
You'll never have to
tell me.
So,
do I just pour this straight in?
No, you'd use 1 tablespoon.
Oh, I didn't bring that.
Yeah, so you get like it's like I don't know, like it's like a little bit in the bottom, but you have to put water in it too, otherwise it'll burn your throat.
Good.
So you mix
I
it
was
with
hoping
water.
you would say that. Here's some water I prepared earlier.
Yeah, so just pour like I don't know, like that much in.
Like she and I.
Yeah.
Is that right?
The more water, the better, because it dilutes it.
But then you'll make me drink the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Oh, then you have to drink the whole thing, and then just put like a even if you put a splash in there, it's the worst.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
and I got the one with the mother. Oh, yeah. I got the one with the mother.
Yeah, that's what she said is the good stuff. Yeah.
I thought so. Okay, here we go. About that much?
Yeah, that's good.
Here we go. I actually haven't had breakfast yet, so it's kind of his first thing in the morning.
Oh, it is. I forgot it's morning for you guys.
To do it first.
Yeah. It's
There you
9:18.
go. I apologize in advance. Go ahead.
Yes. Salut. Oh, that tastes fabulous.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're going on about.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
That tastes like salt and vinegar chips gone rotten.
Yeah. Yeah, it tastes like apple juice you forgot about in your trunk of your car for about 6 months or something, and then you try to drink it. Yeah, it's wretched.
It's got to be good for your insides.
I suggest everyone try it that's watching right now. They should all go drink apple cider vinegar.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll do the challenge.
Yeah. It's every morning I do it, and it makes you so happy that you woke up when you drink it.
It wakes you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I just wondered if you could tell us what your advice is on balancing family life and teaching.
Oh, I integrate both of them. So before I had kids, it was a lot easier because I didn't have to. I like staying at school really long hours. You hear a lot of new teachers kind of lamenting a little bit about how many hours they have to stay at school, or people that don't want to go into teaching because they think it's going to take up too much time. I love it. I could literally stay at school till 9 o'clock at night because I'm hanging out with my coworkers, or I'm getting work done, or I'm working on my room, and it's really, really gratifying to me. And I have a bit of withdrawal when I go into the summer. So, I just try and, like a lot of other things, just try and make it fun. So I build sets at my school. I build the sets for all the plays at school, and I just bring my kids up to the school. There's no one there. They're allowed to bring their bikes or their scooters or their big wheels when they were really little, and I just let them ride all over the school on them because they're not going to break anything, and everything everything dangerous is locked up. And so they just ride around together, or they play ninjas in the hallway and stuff. And if I have a lot of work that I have to bring home and grade at night, my kids help me. They'll either actually grade multiple choice parts, or if someone gets 100, they get a picture drawn on their paper by my children, which kids always love. It is never lost on them. And so, especially when they were very small, my children and the students had to figure out what? I'm not sure what this is. And I'm like, it's a unicorn on the sun, of course. And so the kids are they love that stuff. So I think it just takes a bit of creativity to try and figure out how to do it, because I love it so much, and my kids are always pretty great about it.
Yeah. CJ, we've just got a couple of people joining in now. Welcome, everyone. And we've got Rocking Dan has let us know his favourite video of yours, the classroom tour.
Yes.
Great about setting up. Yeah, that was great too. I agree.
I get a lot of love on the classroom tour, yeah.
Yeah. That was really good. Liza says, my kids love coming to school when nobody's around. They run around with flashlights while I work. That's cute. Yeah, that's great.
That's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Any teachers watching at the moment? I know we'll have a lot more watching on the rebroadcast, but if you're a teacher watching, just give us a hello on there, so that we know you're a teacher. I just wondered if you have any career aspirations, CJ. I don't know how it works there, but are you hoping to climb the ladder or have another position? Nope, never. So that's really funny. I feel like everyone. I'm hearing that echo. Can you grab headphones real quick? I'm going to grab headphones real quick just because I hear echo. But
so many teachers I know, everyone wants to be in administration one day, and I think I just want to be a really good teacher. And as soon as you go into, will these work? Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm going to put these headphones on so I can.
No worries. Yep, take your time.
Okay, that's better. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Actually, that's better.
I think I just want to be a really good teacher, and I think that the idea behind that is that I can come. I think once you move up the ladder into administration, there's less time with the students, and for me, it's always about the students. I love being with the kids. I love being able to interact with them. I love having prep periods I can spend with students or before, after school. And when you move up that ladder of success, I feel like a lot of your time gets taken up by other things, and you don't have that time. And the people who are kind of in charge at my school, like the principal and the vice principal and deans, they're all really wonderful people, but that's even some stuff I've heard back from them sometimes. Is like, you just can't be in the hallways all the time. You can't be talking to the students all the time, eating lunch with them. So yeah, no, I think I'd rather grow on YouTube and be able to like mentor teachers, and that is something I'm more excited about than like growing in the classroom. I really just want to keep becoming like the best teacher that I can be, though.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how it works there, but we have in the English faculty we have 6 English teachers, and then we have a head teacher of English, so she's in charge. And I've relieved for her several times, and I've enjoyed it, and I know that I can do it well, but I really, she's going to retire in the next few years, and she's sort of saying to me, you should go for it, and I'm really not convinced. Convinced, because same as what you said, and then you've got to deal with a lot more discipline as well, and I don't like myself in that way, but
no, I just would rather be a really good soldier than a general or something like that. Like it's who I am.
At the chalk face.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you had any advice on achieving longevity in teaching.
So all the schools that I've ever taught at have been like particularly difficult. So when I taught in Camden, New Jersey, Camden's like one of the most dangerous cities in the country, and West Philadelphia can be a pretty violent place. But I just have those are the kind of neighborhoods I've always wanted to teach in, and that's where I was always drawn to teaching. So it's funny because we have a lot of turnaround at our school, and my old school had even more turnaround. So like teachers will stay for a year or 2 or 3, and then they leave. And I really feel like the secret to longevity is to just keep having fun. Like I just decide I'm going to have fun every day. No matter what it is, no matter what I'm doing, I love the people that I work with. I love the students that I work with. And sometimes that's, kids, you just have to like decide you're going to love certain students because they're not very lovable all the time. And I don't care if the students think that I'm like being silly, or if I look like not what a teacher should look like, because I know that I'm connecting with students. I know that I'm having fun, and I know that I'm making fun happen in my classroom. So to me, that's the biggest thing. Is like find a way to enjoy your work. And I also think the other kind of part of that is to make sure you're making friends. Like when you go to work and your friends work there, it's just a better day because you're with the people that you love all the time. So it makes you want to stay at work until 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that is great advice. And you actually answered my next question. Well, kind of. I was going to ask you, because I know you've mentioned before the high turnaround at your school. So are because your students seem so just sweet kids. I can't imagine them being difficult or anything like that. So what is the reason for the high turnaround?
Yeah, and so one of the really funny things about that is like I don't pick like the best guys to be on camera with me. So like I did a video at the very end, which was like a reflection on your year, it was called. And so my guys all came in and they like just talked about like, how did your year go? And I got a really good response from that. But the funny thing was, like, I just picked guys out of the hallway. I didn't pick the greatest guys. The thing is, I spend a lot of time building relationships. So a lot of students that like other folks might have an issue with, I don't have. And so I'd say largely because our community is so tight at our school, there are discipline problems, but they're usually specific to, like, if someone's a first-year teacher, they might have more discipline problems than somebody else. Or certain kids and certain teachers always tend to butt heads. And I know I have those students every year, too, that, like, I can't get through to them, and I need to turn to another teacher and say, I think you're better suited for this particular individual. So, I think turnaround also has to do with the fact that, like, you know, when you start teaching and you're 22 and 3 years in, you're like, oh, I'd like to live in France for a while, so I think I'll move there. Or I always wanted to be a lawyer, and then people just keep changing. It's not a career path that I think they thought would last long term to begin with. And the unfortunate part is that always hurts the student. Like, when they have everyone's different all the time, it hurts the students. But selfishly, it always benefits me. Like, the teachers that stay always benefit from other people leaving because you are that consistency in the student's life, and that's huge.
It's like what you were saying with marriage, with like what you were saying before. You know, you put in the effort, you put in the hard work, and you get a great relationship out of it. Same with the students, the loyalty and the stickability. Absolutely.
100%.
We've got a very special guest. I've just noticed. It's Darren Nakakihara. Did
Oh,
I say it right, Darren? Darren Nakakihara
probably not,
is in the house. And he's just saying there's an echo. I'm just wondering, Darren, which one of us is it? And I'm not sure if we can fix it or not. And my apologies. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? Oh, CJ's got the echo.
Okay.
Oh, shame.
I don't know.
I don't know what
that mic out of there, and we'll see if that helps.
Is it reverb?
Hold on. I'm going to see if I can fix it.
Okay. If not, keep us updated, Darren, and because I might have to drop CJ out and bring him back in if it doesn't fix. Okay, so I heard you say once that you feel like teenagers are like puppies. I don't remember when.
I did say that.
You love say that. I don't even remember. I pick up on these things. I just thought that was cute. Darren said I said his name right first go.
Never. I never do.
I have been practicing in secret. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so I know you love teenagers, but what do you wish would change about this generation, if anything?
You know, it's funny. I still hear that echo as well. You think maybe I'll drop out and you can just guess me right back in?
Sure. We'll try that. Okay, everyone, just hang tight. We'll just drop CJ. It feels so rude to do that. There he goes. It feels so rude. But, yeah, we want everyone to be able to hear, so we'll do what we can to try and fix that. And I think, yep, here we go. All right, I'll invite him back in. Hopefully that will solve the problem. If Darren or anyone could just let us know if this fixes the problem, that'd be awesome. Nope, he doesn't want to come back in. It's dropping back out again. Let me try again. Just waiting patiently. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, how you can talk to somebody on the other side of the world and it's just in real time. I just think it's amazing. So here we go. It says it's connecting now. Hi, welcome back.
Is it on?
It's on.
All right. I
and
still
Darren,
hear the echo.
Yeah. If you can let
Maybe
us know.
if your
Darren.
volume gets turned down a little bit, can you try that?
Oh, yeah, let's try that. Okay, let's try that. It's down a little bit now.
That might be better.
So, yeah, I was just saying, what do you wish would change about this generation, if anything?
I don't know that there's anything. I think there was a movie in America in the 1980s called The Breakfast Club that there was this really great scene at the end of that movie where one of the teachers is kind of lamenting about the students and how bad they act and how it was so different when he was younger. And the janitor says that, like, I've been here for years and I know that it's never different. It's always the same. Kids are always kids. And so I don't know that there's anything I would wish for them to change. Like, I mean, I think the hardest thing about being a teacher is you always want better for your students than they want for themselves a lot of times.
Yes.
They don't see, as an adult, you can kind of see the future, right? Like, I know what's going to happen this many years into teaching. Like, if you don't do the work, if you don't put in the time, you're going to end up in this particular situation. If you put in the work or if you play the game, you end up in this particular situation. And very rarely am I not right about that. So I don't know that I would change anything. I think kids are just kids, and you just have to the adults have to keep adapting to the type of students that they're teaching that year, because, you know, they're trying to figure it out already. So we should help them try and figure out who they are as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I was going to say also, what do you think this generation has that gives an advantage over other generations, over ours, for example?
Oh, social media, 100%. I mean, people look down on it a lot, and I hear a lot of teachers say things about it. But, I mean, the fact that you can find anything out at any moment it's awesome. I'm rarely out of arm's reach of my phone because I'm constantly looking things up or doing math or trying to figure stuff out or connecting with people. I think phones are it.
Yeah, it's an amazing time to live. What parenting advice would you give parents of teens?
I'm not there yet, but I would say, I think learning what your kids are interested in and then being interested in that just because your kids are interested in it, right? So there's, my son last summer was really into Pokemon Go. It was like the craze in America and probably in other places of the world, but I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm not interested in the least in Pokemon, but my son was, so I became interested in it. My son became interested in video games. I decided I was going to be interested in video games. So I think kids, even if they put up a front like they don't like it, would really, really love if their parents gave them, like found interest in what they were interested in and not be like so condescending. Like, I know a lot of parents say things like, you know, their kids' music is the worst, or why do they like such silly stuff? It's a waste of time to like be into, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons or whatever kind of stuff they're into. But if you really took a valid interest in it, and I think that would really go far with kids.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. What do you love about teaching English in particular? Excuse me.
I love books. I mean, books have been invaluable in my life. And I think English also gives me the chance to go deeper with students. I love building relationships. I love having, like, we call them heavy, deep, and real conversations in class. And so books are sort of that entryway to say, like, well, if these two characters feel like this, have you ever felt like this also? Or, you know, when we read the Odyssey, we talk about the Odyssey of the student's life as well. So what kind of Odyssey has your life been about? And so I think, I'm not sure if I taught math or science, if I'd had that opportunity to like have those deep conversations with students and help them learn who they were more. And English gives me that opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And also I find that I don't know about you, but English is the only compulsory subject right through to year 12.
Yes.
They have to do maths until year 10. And so I think we get every student in every year coming through the English faculty, and we know those kids. And you know, like you said, you talk about life, you talk about philosophy, you talk about everything because of the literature. And if any teacher wants to know anything about a kid, I tell them go and ask their English teacher. They will know, because we get close, we get really close, and I love that.
Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah. I know you teach 9th grade there, and I just wondered why should someone choose to teach 9th grade?
You know, I like ninth grade because I feel like an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So if I'm teaching 12th grade and someone, I've had students that like they can't read or their reading level is really, really low. And if I can get them in the ninth grade, I can help them more. I also think that in ninth grade, there's still that bit of silliness in you that was there when you were a child. And when you're in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you're like too cool and can't like, I can't be as silly with you. So one of the things I do just to amuse myself at school, because that's what I'm there for, is I blow bubbles in the hallway sometimes in between classes. And the younger kids always love it, like the 14, 15-year-old kids. But the older guys get mad that there's bubbles in the hallway. Like, why are there bubbles in the hallway? I don't, this is so stupid. And then eventually I wear them down, and by the end of the day, they're like popping bubbles in the hallway also. But they just, I love that silliness because that's still inside of me, and I love being able to connect with those kids about that.
That's awesome. I've noticed since watching you and a couple of the other teachers on YouTube that it's very different over there. So you only teach year 9.
Yes.
Is that right? And then your hip hop elective. So
yep.
Can you briefly explain how your timetabling works? So do you have like periods in the day?
Yes. So
and then
go ahead.
Lots of year 9s come to you?
So I used to teach all of the ninth grade. There was 120 students, and I had all of them. I was the English teacher because my school is very small. We only have about 500 students. And so after, but now I'm teaching a different class. I started last year, and that will go into this year, where I'm teaching kids who have a lower reading level. It's called a co-taught classroom, so it's me and a special ed teacher are teaching together, and the group is mixed. They have this integrated group where there are kids that have very low reading and writing scores and kids who are right on line, and so we're trying to help those lower level students like come up to the grade level that they should be on. And so I won't teach all the ninth graders anymore, sadly, but they come to me. We have 5 days a week. They're in there for 45 to 50 minutes, depending on the day. And and then we run trimesters at our school too. So we don't have
you run what?
the school trimesters. So the year is broken down into 3 parts instead of 4 parts, which is like I feel like what most people do.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you've picked up, but in Australia high school is year 7 to year 12.
Okay.
And we teach. So each year we get an allocation of 5 different classes. So this year I have year 8, year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12. So they come to me. So period 1 I'll have year 8, period 2 I'll have year 11, period 3 I'll have year 10. It's very different.
That's tough. That's tough because there's so many different lessons to prepare for too. Then I feel like every day.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was thinking about you guys, and I thought, so you could just like get your unit or your program for the trimester and refine it and adapt it to each different class. That would be awesome. Yeah,
every year I teach the same thing. And I think some of that, though, is because I've stuck with it for so long. So I am, I'm at the point now where, like, I'll often, like, tell the school what I want to do and say, like, this is what I want to do next year. This is what, I want you to let me do it. And they are so great in that they just let me do kind of like what I want a lot of times. So.
Well, they're lucky to have your experience and your expertise, so they should. That's my opinion. My next question was, and you kind of touched on it with your class that you were talking about. My question was, what are your thoughts on improving literacy levels in teens?
I think meeting kids where they are. When I was younger, the books that were handed to me were never anything I was going to connect to as a teenager. So if we would read in the U.S. anyway, it was always like Of Mice and Men or Henry David Thoreau's Walden, or books that I just couldn't care less about. And so what I try to do is get books in my class that I know my students are going to be interested in, or they are far more likely to. So I'll go onto Amazon, or I'll go to a store like Barnes & Noble here in the U.S. and look up books that I think are going to really interest my students. And even if those are comic books or graphic novels for my really low-end readers, my thing is I don't care what you're reading so long as you're reading. And so I think it's like meeting kids where they are. And then once, so I had it, for instance, I had a student that 2 years ago, I guess, saw the movie Straight Outta Compton. Are you familiar with this? And so
I haven't watched it, but I know about it.
Okay, so this movie comes out, and he is infatuated with the group NWA. And so I ordered a book for him about the group, and he never read a book in his life, never wanted to. His reading level was fairly low, and I couldn't find anything that would hold his interest for very long. And so he tore through that book, and so I ordered 6 more books that he read all of them in that year because he was so interested in the group and their story. And so I think that's how you do it. Like, I don't know that a lot of other schools would even be comfortable ordering books about a group like NWA, but I was lucky enough to be able to do it, and that kid, he benefited from it, and that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, awesome. I've got a question there from Rocking Dan. He asked about your summer because we, I think you guys have about 3 months break.
Yes.
We don't. We have 5 weeks over summer, which is Christmas time, and then we have little 2-week breaks throughout the year. Yeah. He's saying, do you like having a big break like you do, or would you prefer to have lots of little ones?
I do. You know, it's funny. I've never had anything different, so I'm not sure. I like summers off, and this summer has been great because I'm, doing YouTube stuff. It just gives me a lot more freedom to get a lot more done and set up for the school year. But I get a lot of time off. Like the way our school is scheduled, I still will get 18 days off at Christmas time, and which is December, end of December here in the U.S. I still get, time off for all of the different holidays. So we put in really long days though. So where I teach, it's about hours and not days. So we have to, I'm at school from 8 to 5 every day. And then, so the hours add up really quickly. And then we can afford to have more days off.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. What would you say to your own children if they wanted to become teachers?
I would support anything my kids wanted to do. I would, honestly, and unless it was like, I don't know. I can't really think of anything. And as long as it's not illegal, I think I would totally get behind them 100% and just push anything that they want to do. My daughter wants to be a teacher, but my children also want to go to my school too. Yeah, I bring them in sometimes and I let them do like teachery stuff, like they grade things or they clean my boards or they run errands for me and pass out papers, and she loves it.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah. That's awesome. A few questions about YouTube. How has YouTube changed your life or your perspective on things?
That's a really good question. YouTube gives you the chance to watch yourself again, like every day. Like when you're editing, you're watching and you don't notice maybe your mannerisms or how you hold yourself all the time, or that those pants weren't really as flattering as you thought they were because now you're watching yourself wear them online. Or I never noticed how much I talk with my hands until I started making YouTube videos. And so it's also given me a point of connection with my students that I did not anticipate at all. I started making little 30-second silly videos during lunch with my guys. And so then that morphed into making videos, and it's been great. And I'd say overall, my favorite thing about YouTube so far is all of the different people I've met that I would have never, ever met in my life. Like the fact that like you're in Australia right now and I'm in the United States, it's not lost on me. It's amazing. Or like tomorrow I'm going to talk with Darren online, who's all the way in California. I would have never run into Darren otherwise. And so it's just
Darren who?
Darren who? Darren who? My friend Darren Nakakihara. So.
You got it. You got it. Well done. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's amazing, the power of the internet, and all these wonderful teachers, and I just love them all. I think they're all great people, and I'm proud to know them now.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It makes me upset, really, that the world isn't smaller, because I would love to meet up with everyone. There's some people that I'm like, I feel like we would be best friends if we hung out, and so yeah. No, who knows?
Sure.
One day,
maybe one day. Who knows? Yeah. I have a question from Florence from Teacher Tales.
Yes.
She's the Sydney primary teacher. You know her. She says, "Do your colleagues know about your YouTube channel?"
They do, but I don't think anybody watches. So they all know when they see me walking around with my camera all the time in school and recording stuff. Or they'll now we're at the point where they'll knock on my door when it's closed and just kind of peek inside and say, "Hey, are you recording something right now?" But I
you
think
need one of those signs.
I've thought about making one. Yeah, I thought about making one.
That'd be awesome.
Their signs, but I think most adults that I know don't get YouTube. They think that it's like this weird thing that kids do. And I'm trying to convince them that, like, no, there are tons of young people on here looking for answers. And so, I don't think I'm better than, I literally don't think I'm better than anyone else. There's tons of teachers at my school that I work with that do a much better job than I do. But they just don't want to be on YouTube. And I like attention. So, here I am.
Yeah, I totally hear you. Yeah, my colleagues don't watch YouTube at all. My friends think, I don't know, they think it's a bit strange, really, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're supportive.
Yeah, I've been strange my whole life, though, so it's just kind of like another weird thing that I'm doing. Yeah.
Just segues in.
Yeah.
So, you've answered her next question, which was, what do they think about it? And so I hope you've had time to think about what was your favourite video of your own as we've been talking.
It's funny. I won't watch my videos again until like a good amount of time has gone by, and then we'll just be sitting there one night and I'll just pull up some videos because my own children want to watch them. I don't know. What do you think is good ones? So I'll tell you, a video that no one watched that I thought was really great was was my election special that I made. So we went and voted for the new president of the United States, and my son was just so funny in it that I just love watching it because he makes me laugh so much. He's so wonderful, and yet he doesn't pick up on my sarcasm all the time, so he's very like stern when I speak sarcastically, and he just kills me. But I think also the how I became a teacher video, where I tell my story of how I became a teacher. I told a lot of stuff in that video that I've never said to a whole lot of people before, and talked about like the death of my parents and how that affected my life, and how kind of how I became a teacher. And that was a really vulnerable video, and it felt good to do something like that. That was like not just advice to other people, but like, here's a little bit about me as well.
Personal. Yeah, yes. Personal. I'm going to go find it now and link it below this.
Oh,
so everyone can watch it. So I thought, just to finish up, maybe we could have a little bit of a challenge, you and I, to try and do each other's accents.
Yes, let's do it.
So I've written down a couple of sayings, and I may need to write them for you so you can understand. Yeah. And if you want to pick an American saying for me to try, I'm happy to try anything, really. So you have a little think, but I wrote down a couple. But here we go. Now, this is not a rude thing. This is not rude, but I'll explain it. Can you read that?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Liking a piss.
You know what it means?
Mate.
Oh, my sister's trying to ring me. Excuse me.
Yeah, Sorry. Go ahead. Tell her I said hello.
Oh, she won't go away. Do you know what it means?
No, it sounds like you have to go to the bathroom.
No. It's when you're teasing someone. It's like you sort of copy them, mimic them, or tease them, kind of like I did with the hair thing.
Okay.
But it's just gentle. We don't want to go too far. You know, it's just gentle, taking the piss.
Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense.
Maybe you guys say taking the mickey. Do you say that?
No.
No. Oh.
I don't.
I don't know.
Maybe other people do.
Maybe, yeah. Here's one I would like you to try.
Let's go for it. Have a nice arrow.
It's actually my handwriting's poor. It's A.
Have a nice arvo. Hey, mate. Have a nice arvo.
Very British. Sound very British. Sound very proper. You know what it means?
I have no idea. Have a nice arvo. I don't know.
We like to shorten a lot of our words, so arvo is short for afternoon.
But there's no V in afternoon.
There is now. So, and we usually drop the H. Oops, this side. We usually drop the H, so it's have a nice arvo.
Have a nice arvo.
Have a nice arvo. Ah.
There it is.
Ah. Arvo, yeah. Have you got one for me? Have you thought of one?
What do you have?
If not, I've got some backup ones.
Yeah, my son's playing video games. Otherwise, I'd ask him. He's like plugged into the Matrix.
That's okay.
Right now. Go ahead. Because Americans don't have accents, by the way, right? How everyone speaks.
I don't know. I was thinking your accent's pretty thick. How about, I know you don't really say it where you are, but all y'all? All y'all?
Yeah, that's like a southern thing.
Southern thing. Yeah. I hear people say that and I think that's really weird. Isn't it sort of all y'all? Is that right? All y'all?
Pretty good.
Did I totally butcher that?
That's hilarious. No, that was really good.
And then I think you guys say dude a lot because we sort of
I say dude all the time.
Yeah. So we say that here as a sort of a joke, you know, dude, hey dude. But you guys say it seriously, I think.
Yeah, all the time.
Yo dude. Is that right? Yo dude.
Yes.
And that's
yes.
so, like,
did I get it?
Yeah, that's the East Coast, but that's a total California thing also. So I'm sure Darren says dude all the time.
He probably does. What's one from your area?
I'm trying to think. So I'm not going to be able to. Do you have a piece of paper?
No, right on this.
Do you guys say a cup? Do you say a cup of Joe where you are?
No, that's like if you're old, you would. But
okay.
I'm going to use this scrap piece of paper, so it's not going to look very nice. But
wait, you're writing it for her.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this.
Here's a total. This is a Philly thing right here.
Okay, hit me with it. Oh my goodness, John.
Yep, good job.
What
John is anything you want it to be. So like, pass me that John over there, or I tripped over the John, or let's go to the John and get food. It's really kind of lazy, but I have a book in my class of different kinds of slang that my students use all the time. So in Philly, they say John all the time, or what's another one?
So John or John?
John.
I'm going to totally say that now. It's sort of like thingamajig.
Ignore my 4 at the top. It's the one
okay.
Drawlin.
Drawlin.
If you're drawling, it means you're doing too much. You know, like stop. You're doing too much. You're drawling right now.
Too much talking rubbish.
Yeah.
I would say you're talking rot.
Yeah. So it's funny. I don't know if you do this also, but like after hearing slang so much from my students, I use it back, but I say it very like proper. I'll be like, you guys are drawing right now. You need to stop. And they're like, Reynolds, that's not how you say it. It's wrong. And I'm like, drawing. That's what I said, drawing. So, but sometimes it's so good, the slang, I can't not say it. Sometimes it's right on point.
I'm the same. I have one for you.
I reckon it's time for a cuppa. A cup of soup.
You sound like a pom. You sound like you're English, very English. But yeah, do you know what it means?
A cup of coffee? I hope it means.
It means, yeah, a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, cup of anything, really.
Oh, yeah. We don't drink tea in America, really.
No, yeah. Here's one I bet you won't know what it means. This might be my last one.
Ta?
Ta.
Tall.
Ta. Ta. Ta.
Ta. Is that goodbye?
No, tata. Tata's goodbye.
Okay.
But ta is thank you. Thank you.
Really?
Yeah. So if I gave you something, you'd say ta.
All right. It's
I know,
really funny. I've never heard that in my life, and unless I have, and I just never knew that that's what anyone was saying. So, like, if I watched a movie and someone said that, I might like get it now.
There you go. You're educated. I educated you.
I'm glad I came out. Thank you so much.
Do you have any more last minute ones for me, or?
What else do you have?
How about I just try and say your name? Good evening.
Go ahead.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening. I'm CJ Reynolds.
No.
Welcome to Real Rap with the Reynolds. Peace.
When
That's me taking the piss.
I thought. Stop. That's.
You're allowed to do it back.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means like you're just kidding around.
Oh.
I'm talking to the not so secret wife over here.
Sorry.
That's fine. That's okay.
That is hilarious. You know, it's funny
I'm so sorry.
when you text me about saying that. I don't notice that I say the same thing sometimes. So when I made a video the other day after you had said that, I said like, welcome everyone or something like that. And I was like, there I am, I'm doing it again. Like, I don't realize that I say this stuff all the time. It's funny.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Hey,
no
CJ, thanks.
She was saying something. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I just wanted to thank you so much for coming onto my little channel and spending time and chatting with me today.
No problem.
I wanted to thank you. I wanted to just send you a little gift to say thank you. I don't know if you've seen these before.
Never.
Oh, okay. They're quite famous. Maybe not that famous, but they're biscuits. They're Australian biscuits, and I don't know if you can see the picture. They've got chocolate on the outside, chocolate on the inside. Oh, biscuits
Sounds
for us
awesome.
are cookies for you.
Yeah.
I figure with all of that, with all of this stuff, you might need to balance it out with some sweet stuff.
You just have to eat them together, and then your body doesn't know the difference. It just thinks they're healthy.
I'd love to see you do that on video.
That would be awesome.
And I have a little koala for you as well.
A koala bear?
Yeah. No. Koala? Bear. Koala? Bear.
Koala bear.
Nice!
There we
Nice! That was lovely. So if you could just message me your postal address, I'll pop those in the mail soon.
That would be awesome. Thank you very much. That's great. I'm pumped to get them.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So thanks again. I'll let you get back to your family now. I really appreciate it. We're nearly up to an hour. I told you it'd only be half an hour. Sorry, but we've got chatting.
Nope, not at all. I'm glad to do it.
And I've had a great time. And I look forward to your next video.
Great. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, Emma. Ta.
See ya. ya. Oh, that was so much fun meeting CJ Reynolds. Thanks everyone for joining in, and if I've missed your question, I'm really sorry. The questions sort of come through really fast, so feel free to go and put that question. If I missed it, put it in under the video on YouTube, and I'll try and get back to you on that. Also, I will link a couple of CJ's videos underneath this one when I get the chance. Be sure to go and subscribe to his channel. It's awesome. You will learn so much, and we'll see you guys next time.